Hello and welcome back to Tales of Arise. My name is Renans, and last time we talked to Nate, who was like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, some spaceship, but apparently like 300 years ago there was some kind of crash near this area, and there seems to be a monster. It's near the volcano, so yeah, we were like, well, we better check it out. So we go to this volcano magma-ish area and went through this relatively long but only one map. And then at the end, we kind of find this giant creature, this Ifrit-looking monster, who was honestly like just so big. And yeah, we end up beating it, although it's more like Alphen ended up beating it, and then we end up finding the spaceship. It is this spaceship, which is, well, still, luckily, still functional. But we kind of take a rest as it boots up, and we wake up in the middle of the night just to find Shion kind of like sneaking out, trying to ride the spaceship herself. And we find out that she's actually been struggling with something. It seems like her thorns are going out of control. There's actually it's got a mind of its own. And she wants to essentially get us away from her because she's afraid that we're going to die in the process of her thorns going berserk. And we also found out that she went on this journey to get rid of her thorns, which she knows will result in her own death. So she's essentially finding a way to kill herself. But we're a team, we're a family. And that's right, families stick by each other. So we all decide, yeah, we're gonna go with you no matter what you want, because we all love you and we know that you love us too. So we had a really sweet, tender moment, talked with everyone, but now we're going to space. So yeah, I'm pretty sure there are no quests, because I'm pretty sure I've checked that like 5 times or something, and the only thing left is, well, the only quest left for me to do that's doable is to go to space. So we are going to launch ourselves off to Lenegis and see what happens. I don't really know what to expect out of Lenegis. We've only ever been in that. Whoa, this is a big spaceship. Alphen was riding luxury.
Well, it's the moment of truth.
All I know is that Lenegis' tech is like
this lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
A little bit more advanced.
Don't say that. You're going to jinx us.
Come on, Lo, why are you doing this?
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
I don't know.
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
Where'd that come from?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
Owl, Hoodle! You'll be our captain.
Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
She said Fall Knights, okay.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but, well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
I like Fall Guys.
Okay, people. We have 2 goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dahna alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shion's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good?
Guess that's the only thing we can do.
All right, then let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, one thing I want to say is I have no idea how much longer this game is. I thought Lenegis was going to be the end game. Maybe it is. We still got at least like 20 levels worth of content left, so... Oh! Whoa! Jeez! A spaceship acting like we're from Star Wars or something. Okay, so yeah, Lenegis is gonna have like relatively high tech, but that's kind of all I know. Whoa, that looks sweet.
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Dan has never really got the chance to see this.
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Dahnans feel pretty small too, huh?
I guess that's why Dahnans are... I mean,
How much
Renans always
longer
look at
until we reach
Dahnans
Lenegis?
like, oh, they're beneath us. Look at these puny
There are better
ants.
ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Oh, we're gonna do
Good
some
idea.
stuff here? Really?
The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
Well, better than anyone
You
else.
mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Party disbanded.
Everything okay, Shion? You seem a little different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found a zest for life. It suits you.
Yes, Dohalim. Damn, the music is so goddamn loud.
Is something wrong?
No, I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
Oh.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me though, you too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters
All
to address.
right.
Come back and speak to me when you've finished looking around the ship.
I forgot Dohalim had a history with someone. And I'm sorry, I got a music is just so loud. Okay, so Dohalim had a history with some Renan. Involved him killing her lover, I think? And he's always had like PTSD from that. So he's trying to think about like the quote-unquote sins he's committed and maybe finding a way to move on from that. So that'll be interesting to see. But yeah. Shion.
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh?
I hate home. I ran away.
What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dahna.
It was lonely.
Let's just say I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life, for as long as I can remember. They called it treatment, but in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean they experimented on you?
That's
How
right.
dare they.
All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one
Dan in
test
and Dan
after
out.
another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Reeling from the pain, like I was a monster or something. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched, helplessly complicit in their pain. I thought things couldn't get any worse, but then they did. I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition, unable to so much as touch another soul? Loneliness was my best friend. Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. And that's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around?
Kill everyone else so
why
you can
shouldn't
live.
we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you crazy? Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right? It's that logic that's used to justify slavery, as if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include saving each other as well.
A world free of sacrifice. That's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Shion. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now
No
I see
losers.
the true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Dahnan victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars. We can do this. Together.
Aww. One thing I do want to mention. So, it always seemed kind of coincidental that Alphen, of all people, is the one to be able to not, like, essentially touch Shion because he had the mask, which gave him, like, the pain-numbing, not feeling. I can't believe I forgot this, but it made it so that he couldn't feel pain. And part of me is wondering, like, did Naori plan that? She was the one who gave him the mask. She was also the maiden. I don't know exactly what maiden powers are, or even sovereign powers are, but, like, I can understand why giving him a mask to make him forget his memories, you know, why she did that. Because she wanted to make it so that he didn't remember all the people he's killed. At least, seemingly. I don't really exactly know the event. But why make it so that he literally can't feel pain? That's a weird thing, unless she knew that something like this was going to happen. Which, you know, I don't know. Oh, we got a 2-for-1 here. What you got talking about?
Hey, Alphen, listen to this! So Law and I were just talking
Oh, she's so excited. Huh?
Hey, shut up!
What's got Law all flustered?
Only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that fuss he made about naming the ship, too.
Hey, I never said I was scared.
Okay, fine, I was.
I just think it's, you know, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
Ah,
It's a
the
starship,
classic.
dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
You're
Guys,
weird.
guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dahna in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alphen, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alphen. It's just wrong, okay?
I don't get it. Aerodynamics and just space travel. Are you still worried? No. Why would you think like that? Actually, I probably have some extra dialogue from these two too. Yep. We'll seize our future by our own hands. It is as you say. The past is what it is, and there's no changing it. That goes for me just as much as it does for you. Oh, Kisara's all the way back here. Are there gonna be any items or anything here? Because there are these crevices, but the ship seems really empty, to be honest. I was hoping I'd get something, but actually, come to think of it, Kisara gets seasick. Did she get space sick? We'll find out.
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Airsick.
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably
Hey.
smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
Saiyan healing pods.
It's a healing pod.
Yep.
It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't say. That should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there.
You have to be naked.
Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? But that mean you were inside for 300
that
years?
was a thing?
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
You saved
With
us
the
all.
amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence? and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Dahnans, wherever they might be, to be free. If I've learned anything on this journey,
It's about
it's
freedom.
that.
Right, Aaron?
And the
Freedom!
one
Turn into a
who
bird.
brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not out of this forest just yet. You should probably save your thanks. At least,
Alright.
until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
Oh, that red woman's gonna be a plot
I
thread
know.
that we have to follow.
But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things one step at a time.
Alright. It's been a long and winding road getting here, but in the end, I'm glad we all met. Okay, so we've talked to everyone, so now we have to go back to Dohalim. And I guess we'll arrive in Lenegis? Yeah, sure. What's up, dude?
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
Good question.
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegis.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dahna.
How big is
Of course,
Lenegis?
it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Redwell!
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Are you one of them?
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dahna even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renan ladder is considered superior to being a Dahnan. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shion?
I couldn't touch people, so yeah.
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right, I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Okay.
Sorry.
That was a long pause.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Lost blushing!
Oh,
I am not!
I don't think he was, Renwell.
Of course, separating
Stop
people
bullying
into
him.
castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this Red Woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pelagian.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dahna, we need to take it back at all costs.
That red woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
Whoa!
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
Brace
If there are
yourselves.
clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them.
All right, we are currently arriving in Lenegis. Whee! I keep forgetting that Lenegis is not like an actual planet, but like a space station essentially, or some kind of space colony. Because clearly, it's like It's mechanical, it's not natural. Seems kind of normal. No one's here to greet us. No weapons at my throat yet.
There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Wait, we got
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated.
Oh.
Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
I was like, damn, they even have a landing spot for us.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
Yeah, we literally just kind of showed up. I think
I
someone
really
will
hope we
notice.
don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renans Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
She does have the Renans Alma, so she would probably put it there.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a sovereign in our midst.
Ooh. Volron's not here.
In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renans Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renans Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renans Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Indeed.
Hence the Forbidden Zone.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
I forgot to remove your ID from 300 years ago,
Xian's
so you're
right.
still A-okay.
Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
Say no more, we're there.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone.
Members who have left have returned.
Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renans. The capital city where Xion and Dohalim used to live, no less. Who knows what we'll find on the other side.
Oh, we can actually go back. Neat. We have a...
Thinking about what
discussion?
could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
For such a loudmouth, you sure can be a worrywart at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Would you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
Children.
So how many Renans actually live in this place?
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zeugles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
There's Zeugles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
Yikes. Oh man, that's gonna be a pain. Well, let's take a look around. Livestock, cool. Whoa, you can see... Yeah, you can see Dahna in full view. That's actually super cool. I don't think there's actually much here. Yeah, so we'll go straight to the next area. Oh, cool. Now we're getting Dahna here. What takes? Is it gonna be a dungeon? Oh, something's on fire. Dude, even the walls are tech. What the hell? Something's on fire, but I don't think it's like chaos. I think maybe just an accident happened. I thought when I saw something was on fire, they were being attacked or something, but nope. Oh, it's just Lenegis. Damn, the music changed. It's really weird. I feel like there's too much technology.
What in the world?
This being Renan territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted.
Okay, this
What
is
could
not
have
normal.
caused this?
When Lenegis changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior
okay.
too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dahna?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
Sorry, we haven't used that in a while. We
I
kind
would
of
think
forgot
the citizens
where people
themselves
lived.
didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Oh, they recognized them. Hi, glasses Renan dude.
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
Okay, Avakir.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dahna participating in the crown contest?
Or these are
And these
Dahnans.
people!
So you haven't heard what happened on Dahna then?
Heard what?
An answer,
Someone
please.
you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
No, it's
Forbidden
forbidden.
What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home,
Dude's got a point.
let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
That's the person that gave him the PTSD.
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her.
Whoa,
If anything, she's probably even more...
there's some really weird noises.
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself. Okay, Doe?
Aw. You know, even though that guy is clearly gonna, like, looking down on Dahnans, it was kind of swell. He was just kind of trying to be a good friend to Dohalim. And clearly, you know, he's been educated to think Dahnans are
So
below
who's
him.
Faria?
Yeah.
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dahna.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
While we're at it, we can ask them about the Red Woman, too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of
Yeah,
Dahnans poking their
If
noses
we
around.
pretend to be their slaves, they'll
Good
be like,
idea.
okay, that makes
I
sense.
think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
True.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two.
Yeah, that guy, like...
Dahnans among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?
For now, yes. But yeah, that guy, yeah, clearly he didn't think highly of us, but he still wanted to make sure that Dohalim was okay, seeing if he's reconnected with, you know, his previous friends and or I guess enemies now, and just making sure that like he's welcome, even though shit just happened. Even the Renans are confused, and you know, even though that guy is a Renan, clearly, like, not all of them are working together. They doesn't even know where his house is. Hell, what if he's like, oh man, I was growing this plant. It was so cool. It had like 4 tentacle things, and we're like, oh, oh. So that's what it was. It'd be kind of funny. But yeah, if we follow Dohalim and Shion as their like slave, then that should at least bat less of an eye. But we have a new thing: city torn asunder.
What could be so important it's worth destroying people's livelihoods and homes in the process? It's just unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city as if it were mere building blocks. Someone's got an awful lot of questions to answer.
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy from Dahna and then sending it to Rena.
But why do all this? What for? Surely they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
You heard him. We don't have time to stop and chat. Let's move.
I love how, like, we were kind of afraid of Renans and people from Lenegis because, like, you know, they're quote-unquote superior, etc. But, like, honestly, a lot of them are just kind of, like, people that have just kind of lived in a privileged society compared to the Dahnans. So they're not actually much. Oh, Dohalim's, I guess he's, like, you know, quite a fighter, but, like, it seems like his circle is just full of, like, dorks, and that, you know, that's fine. An afterthought.
So, I've been wondering, do you think when Lenegis was built, it was even made with people living here in mind?
What do you mean?
Well, none of this happened by coincidence, right? They must have designed it to transform like this. But then, if they knew people were going to live here, you'd think they would have taken that into consideration, to avoid all this chaos.
Ordinarily, yes. You'd think so. Trust me, as far as we were concerned, Lenegis was our home, nothing more. No one knew about all this. It makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought. But if so, to what exactly?
Sorry, that probably sounded weird, huh?
Not at all. Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye to help you notice what you've been missing all along. This place is a mystery, that's for sure. Something tells me we'll find answers where we're going, though.
Yeah, you're right, Shion. I'm sure we will.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's see. We've only got one exit here. We have an interaction here. Hopefully it's an inn or something, but right now we just gotta talk to people. So, how are you doing, fellow Renan? Yes, I am Renan. Is Lenegis done for? The residential quarter is falling apart. Well, sucks to be you. At least you have homes. Whoa. Oh, people are using arts like normally. With everything all topsy-turvy in the residential quarter, there are a lot of injuries. Stuff keeps dropping on people and they're also falling down. I wonder canonically how much time has passed. I'll talk to all the regular people first. But like, clearly things are still kind of fresh. Things have just happened and they're still recovering. Hell, people are still getting injured, but like, since the wedge dropped, canonically, how much time has passed? Technically, it could be as... I think technically it's like one night. Because the only time it actually hit night was when we decided to rest. Can anyone hear me? Someone please answer! What's going on? Why can't I reach anyone? Oh, cool, we have some of the Renan Knights. Huh? Where am I? I just went out for a walk, but now I don't even know where I am. I don't know. Everything's falling apart. It looks completely different. I can't get a hold of Mother and Father either. You have nothing to fear, kids. I'm sure there's a reason for everything that's going on. But even the Zoogles are running loose. That seems dangerous. Zoogles are nothing more than our servants. They may have gotten out, but I assure you, I'll have them back under our control before long. If you kids consider yourselves to be proud Renans, then be brave. We'll have the situation fixed before you know it. Aww. Where's the dang Sovereign when you need him? Can't he see the city's in trouble? Let's not jump to conclusions now. I'm sure there's a reason he hasn't appeared yet. Let's simply give it time. Well, it seems like... Oh. You can heal someone here. Yes, I am Renan. I can use arts. In all my years, never have I seen such potent healing arts. Thank you so much for taking the time to help an old woman like me. Oh, fancy parfait. Okay, that's gonna be something special.
Everything will be okay now.
We have food.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
No, he's still helpful. You still gotta revive and regenerate. The Zoogles suddenly stopped listening to our commands. As soon as we turned our backs, they bolted for the horizon. Nothing like this has ever happened before. We have to put the crown contest on hold. We can't carry it on like while things are like this. You know, part of me wonders, like, all these people are, you know, Renans, but a lot of them have probably never seen a Dahnan in their lives, and they probably view them as, like, beneath them, but I wonder if a lot of them even know what the crown contest entails and all the extreme abuse that happens on Dahna. But first, we'll talk to this old man.
Oh, dear me.
Oh,
What an
voice acted.
unspeakable
Nice.
mess this has all become. Just look at the state of our city. Even the Zeugles have stopped heeding our commands. Whatever did we do to deserve this?
Enslave an entire
You
group
really
of
have
people.
no clue what might have caused this?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know. We have no choice but to grin and bear it.
I wonder who His Highness is.
But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of His Lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris?
Oh, right, he was part of a house. I forgot that.
I believed he was on Dahna.
Oh, we're here on emergency
Your eyes
business.
do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot divulge.
As your lordship wishes. First Lenegis mutates beyond recognition, now this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed.
Come on, think of it.
The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
Oh, yeah, they really haven't gotten the news.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
Okay, I was gonna say, I wonder how much news they get, because at this point, Dohalim is the winner, right? Technically, all the other lords are dead, so they literally can't do their job. He kind of wins by default. The Sovereign knows best. His will works in mysterious ways. But yeah, who the heck is the Sovereign? Because, like, the only one we know, the only two that we know are Alphen and Volron, but Volron's freaking dead. At least, that's what I think.
Your lordship! Oh, what a great honor it is to finally meet you. I descended to Dahna during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I returned.
How often is
I
this? Every
witnessed the
decade? I
deaths
forgot.
of so many slaves.
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red. Have you seen
I
anyone
wonder
of
what
that
would happen if
description?
I just had everyone dressed all in red. Because Law and like Red
Oh,
will have like
red,
the
eh?
Chinese New Year ones.
No, I can't say I remember anyone like that. I imagine she'd stand out somewhat, too.
Shion also has a red dress.
Yeah. What about down on Dahna during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. Why do you want to find her anyway?
Never mind. Forget I asked. Sorry to take up your time.
Man, I kind of expected the Renans to be monsters, but honestly, they're just regular people that were honestly grew up with this culture. I wonder if they'll put the current crown contest on hold. I mean, man, all the people are like, help us, man, things suck.
Is everything okay? You look a little lost.
I got hit in the head.
Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home, is all. I was just about to make my umpteenth attempt at a new route.
I was hoping to head this way myself. The situation is a real pain, huh?
I suppose the Sovereign knows best. I daren't stay here too long, though. A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome.
Oh, she's one of
I
the
was hoping to
peasants.
avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Hello, is I, Lord.
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how? Last I heard, you were in Dahna competing in the crown contest.
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell
Yeah,
us.
please, don't ask anymore.
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing for sure.
It's worth investigating, at least. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime, wait for me here. If it looks safe, I'll come and let you know.
You'd really do that for me?
He's the people's
A lord
lord.
troubling himself for someone of my lowly status?
Our lot in life is of little consequence. We are both Renan, first and foremost.
Oh, why yes, my lord. Thank you.
Well, we've canvassed the city for information. What do you think?
People are kind of
No
normal.
one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after all. They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
I was like, oh, I was reading
You'd
for
think that
Almadria.
info would easily find its way up here. Has it always been like that?
Not to this extent, which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth, that Lenegis is under some kind of control.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
Yeah, that one guy even said his Zoogle had stopped listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
Everything that happens here is attributed to the Sovereign's will. It's the way people have been conditioned. Their belief runs deep. Nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
Oh, so they don't even
The
know if there is a
Sovereign's
sovereign.
plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about. Just who is this person ruling over Lenegis?
Yeah.
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dahna? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over.
Oh, man.
I would have thought ruling Lenegis alone
I
would
kinda
be
forgot.
difficult enough.
Rena and
The points you
Lenegis
make
are
are
different
valid.
places.
Though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning to day. Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
Huh.
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
Hold up, what are you getting at, Dohalim?
What if Rena isn't
Assuming
real?
what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself.
Huh.
No one but the Sovereign, that is.
Kind of wild, actually.
But what about trade and communication? There's got to be a flow back and forth, surely.
Falsified.
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over Lenegis from so far away? What if something were to happen to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right?
Yeah, I thought it was
Just
gonna be
before the
king.
ceremony. But sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lenegis. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign. Though, it would appear that the current ruler has gone silent.
Is he dead?
As for how Volron factors into all this, at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was forced to. Me, a Dahnan. 300 years later, we cross paths with
Holy
Volron,
shit,
who also bears
there's a
the
lot of
Sovereign's
exposition
crest.
in Lenegis.
That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Do you think Volron was made sovereign for the same
Oh,
reason?
right, yeah,
Because of
that's
that
true.
ceremony?
He was sovereign before
I
he
can't
even
say for sure.
entered the contest, it
It
seems.
certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that 2 sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes.
We got me and Volron.
We never did see Volron's body back in Ganath Haros.
We didn't?
Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this
God
strange
damn it, I
activity
shish
here?
kebabbed him.
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you? The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there aside from me...
There were 2 sovereigns.
Questions, and yet more questions. Ones that it seems will remain unanswered until we can establish the Sovereign's identity.
If the Forbidden Zone really is off limits to everyone but the Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dahna, too.
Then it's decided. That's where we need to go.
One of the citizens mentioned a passage that she thought might lead to another section of the city. It could point us in the right direction. Let's go find it!
It's literally the only place we can go. I feel truly blessed to have a lord who shows such care and concern for his people. Lenegis' citizenry.
I didn't realize Renans oppressed their own kind, too.
And yet, weirdly, none of them seem to mind. Am I the only one who finds that strange?
It is the way things have always been, so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard yourself, do you not?
Yeah.
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Even so, the quality of life here seems much higher than any Dahnan city we visited. I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society without wealth. But I suppose having it doesn't always mean people are treated fairly either.
More to the point, not a single citizen seems to have even heard of the Red Woman.
What if she's not here? What if it turns out we're looking in the wrong place entirely?
I'm still kind of confused about the
It's
Red
still
Woman.
too early to say anything for sure.
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed. I say we hold off judgment until we've exhausted every avenue.
The thing about the Red Woman is that, like, we saw the Red Woman, but some people weren't able
With
to.
nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people here are supposed to do. I mean, there's sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld, and all their lords were sent to Dahna.
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegis now.
Holy crap, my house is underground.
Balsuf, Ganabelt, Almadria, and Volron.
I don't know, they're all assholes.
Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Dahnans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing more.
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives, it gets you thinking.
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals?
Huh. It's hard to imagine Balsuf being like a friendly dude to his neighbor. Or like Almadria being like anything but a goddamn witch.
Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lenegis. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dahna, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
Quest star, Renans and their lords. Oh, that'll be pretty cool actually. Yeah, let's do it. I guess we get a side quest. I also had this thing.
Tell me, Dohalim, has that skill of yours got a name?
It's called bluffing.
And what skill would this be, pray tell?
Swaying.
You know, when you're talking to people around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your hands.
It's called being awesome.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
I do. It's called friendly intimidation. Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in no time.
Just
I
like
would never
me.
stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
So there is a knack to it! How do you learn it? Can anyone do it?
I want a girlfriend.
Now you got me curious. Is there special training to master?
I don't because Shion will kill me.
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
Another
if you've
language
a bone to
I
pick
see.
with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
What? They look up to you, that's all. I'm just helping them along.
Aww.
Hey! What's got into Alvin and Law all of a sudden?
I can barely understand a word they're saying. And
Oh,
what's with
no.
the weird poses? Was it something they ate?
Oh no, they're weird.
I hope you're willing to take the blame for this one.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously. I'll go and have a word with them.
I love how like Renwell and Shion both genuinely look so concerned. Actually, what's the main quest at the moment? So Lenegis, I mean, I guess it's... I'll just talk to other people first. There was something else I wanted to say, but I forgot. Oh, well. You want to know which lord I support? Why? Are you out canvassing for someone? I'm with His Excellency. Oh, okay, sorry. Erwalsi Teldilis. You probably know him better as Lord Balsaf. I know a lot of people consider him to be a giant brute. Believe me, I realize he can be an aggressive man. What those people don't realize is how much he looks after the members of his house. It's fair to say that the house Tildelis doesn't enjoy much esteem. Those of us who serve it will be the first to admit that.
Yes!
But His Excellency always stands up against any who would mean us harm. Of that, we can be sure. His efforts in the crown contest aren't only for his family, but to improve the standing of each and every member of his house.
Yes!
I owe so much to His Excellency. I could never dream of serving any other lord. I guess? I mean...
Balsaf had it in him to care about someone other than himself?
It's hard to imagine from
Really?
our POV, definitely.
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
You want to know which lord I support? Why? Okay, it's the same thing. If we click learn more, is it gonna repeat the same thing? Yeah, it is, okay. But basically, it's like, yes, he wants to protect his house, and I was part of that house, so it's all a-okay for me to support him. Here we have someone else. I want to say Almadria. No. Ganabelt. Oh no, this is the woman we just talked to. Lord Dohalim, you have returned. And I see you've brought aides with you. Do you remember who I am, my lord? Surely you must. Yes? Okay, no, it's a different person, but she just has the identical model. Not only do I support House Ilkaris, but more specifically, his lordship personally. So much so, I've been trying to share my appreciation of his lordship to anyone who would listen. In fact, I was planning to publish my extensive writings on the subject through this very terminal for all to read and enjoy. Oh, god damn it. But since the lines appear to be cut due to the recent tumult, I have been unable to upload them. I know, since you're all here, I'll just read them aloud. No. There exists a most handsome man, a man who radiates beauty, whose every word, every syllable is divine poetry. He hails from the famed house Ilkaris, and his name, Lord Dohalim. Music is his passion, and the arts his great love. The scores of boorish, uncouth men of this land cannot begin to compare to his magnificence. So refined and majestic is his posture, why the mere thought of it brings me to ecstasy. Oh my god, I can't. He's just staring. It's like, okay. Thank you. Once he becomes our sovereign, Rena shall bloom anew, ushering in an era of prosperity for our grand civilization. Until that glorious day comes, I shall forever be praying for his victory, morning, noon, and night. Well, what do you think, my lord? I poured my whole heart into hoping to capture your essence. Wait, I forgot to mention about his lordship's love for collecting things. I must take the time while the lines are down to append it. Only then will my masterpiece be complete.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Yes,
Good thing the lines
everyone.
were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
Yeah, please no. Okay, so if I talk to them again, they're just going to, basically give me that answer. Here we have only one more person. Would it be Ganabelt, Volron, or Almadria? I want to say Almadria. I want to know more about her because she seems a lot more evil in my eyes. Nope, it's Valkyries, so that's, I believe that's Ganabelt. Well, I never. To think anyone would try to tear me away from House Valkyries.
What?
What do you want? Don't tell me you work for Lord Dohalim or that dreadful Lord Almadria, do you? Lord Dohalim's just like, yeah, I wonder who works for Dohalim. You don't? Well, don't scare me like that. To your answer, I come from a family that has served House Valkyries for generations. Indeed, I'm doing all I can to support Lord Ganabelt behind the scenes so that he might emerge victorious. Many think him to be a cruel man, but I insist that they're utterly mistaken. Though I won't deny he can be strict, he puts Rena's interests front and center like no one else. Why, he advocates that rather than staying confined to Lenegis, we should go on to colonizing Dahna and expand our horizons. That way, we will become masters of both worlds and overturn our current minority status on Dahna's surface. I mean, technically they are a minority, but if he thinks that like they're suffering down there, they gotta definitely got the wrong image of it. That is why he seeks to become our next sovereign. Tell me, is there a greater, more noble ambition than that? I think not. It is a pursuit of power for the advancement of all our kind. It is what makes him an exemplary lord, a model above all. Though I was unable to accompany him myself, my 2 sons have been blessed with the honor of joining him on the surface. Oh crap, they're probably dead. As their father, it fills me with endless pride. Okay,
Ganabelt was so horrible to people, yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Dahnans?
They're trying to humanize them, and they're doing that by saying, yes, from their perspective, they were doing the right thing. But like, it is really hard to sympathize when you're on the other end of the stick, you know? So, yeah. I can see what they're going. They're like, see, they're only doing all this cool stuff so they can be sovereigns to change the world for the better, right? And, yeah, no. Alright, let's go to the next area. I guess we'll get more about Almadria and Volron in this map. I'm assuming we're gonna, yep, 2 more things here. And there's a lot of people, actually. I'll talk to the other people
This area doesn't look
first.
as badly damaged as that other district we went to.
Oh, that's true.
Indeed. The effects of Lenegis' transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
Alright, what do you guys think? What's happening? I don't get it. There wasn't a decree or anything to announce like this like there always is. You're right. Even if this was an accident, it's strange that we still haven't heard anything from the Sovereign yet. Do my ears deceive me, or are you just saying that you don't trust what the Sovereign is doing? I'll have you know that I was a part of the delegation that came down with him to Dahna during the previous crown contest. He was a brilliant man and just as good with astral arts as well. I'm sure he's well aware of the situation and thus has a plan to resolve it. Until then, we must simply await and trust in his judgment. Okay, so the previous Sovereign was a guy. I guess that's good to know. Don't know who he is though, at all. You saved my life! I would have been a goner had you not arrived when you did, my lady. I understand we're in a crown contest, but I've had no idea such a capable astral arts user was in our midst. Forgive me for not realizing it sooner. Oh, come on! You don't need to bow so deeply. All I did was strike at that Zugel's weak point. Oh my gosh, he's strong! I didn't even go down to Dahna for the crown contest, so I'm not sure how to feel about all this praise you're heaping on me. Get away from me! I want a warrant. Oh, we're probably gonna be able to go through here later on. Is that a ramp, or is it like just goes off the edge? It might be a ramp. Sorry, authorized personnel only. The damage beyond here is too severe. You'll have to go around here. And we have these people. As a member of the upper caste, I order you to find a route out of here to the neighboring district. Please, no, you can't expect an old man such as me to do that. Not when there are Zugals running loose in that part of town. That's exactly why I need you to do this. Surely you don't intend to defy me now, do you? Wow, what a prick. Dude is literally elderly. Where's my house? I don't know how to get home. Aww. Okay, well, there's still a lot more people here. The residential quarters is completely ruined. The road are a mess, and we can't get any power. The info terminals have gone dead, too. We can't get in contact with any of our fellow Renans on the ground in Dahna. I wonder if the Sovereign's aware of what's going on. We have more. Yeah, we have 3 more people. Oh, we have father's daughter here. Oh no, father's son. Father, what's going on? I'm scared. I'm not sure, son. Never in all my years on Lenegis has anything like this ever happened. Not even once. There's always been a decree before anything takes place. Not only was there none this time, but the residential quarter has seen damage and injuries. Could this mean that there's something bad happening then? It's possible. For now, all we can do is wait and hope for the best. Holy crap, there's so much exposition and like... Oh god.
There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Thank you.
Hanfried Milgras, the
Hanfried.
former lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
Cislodia, okay.
So then this Hanfried whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
Is he dead?
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegis?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came before him.
Huh.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegis from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
Alright, women.
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renan by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
Oh yeah, that
With
was a
any
thing.
luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
Thanks for the input, Law. There's 2 more people here. Hello, man. How could any of this happen? For years, Lenegis was a bastion of order and stability. Where did it all go so wrong? Honestly, after looking around this place for a bit, it's still like really weird.
Doe?
Uh-oh.
Faria.
Uh-oh.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait. Don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dahna already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still...
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Dahnan rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Damn. You can see where she's coming from because,
Sure,
like...
that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else.
Damn.
You're just a coward!
What the fuck? Do we notice this? Shit. Turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around. I don't think we noticed.
Dohalim.
I
that was
apologize that you
creepy.
had to witness that.
Dude, it's
Is it
just her
true?
eyes, man.
What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, You mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
Oof. Damn, he feels responsible for all his sins. Even though, honestly, I mean, he feels responsible for them, but it's hard to really say he's responsible for everything. Especially, so like, I was saying this before, I can kind of see where the girl's coming from. Because, like, clearly she and the other guy were a thing, right? And she saw Dohalim literally kill the dude in front of her eyes. But the thing is, like, because we know Dohalim's perspective and saw that guy, like, if he didn't do that, that guy was going to kill Dohalim. And Dohalim was trying to not be the aggressor. The aggressor was the other person. So we know that, like, even if he did it out, whether or not he did it out of self-defense or being a lord, he tried to de-escalate the situation, but the other person wasn't having it because they want to be lord so badly. But I don't know how, like, the woman is understandably upset, but it is a very big problem that she's making a lot of assumptions. And that's gonna ultimately lead to something bad. Hell, now she's with the red woman. She just teleported behind her like it was nothing personal. I don't get it. I feel guilty about fleeing while there are kids out there fighting. There's no need to worry about them. They've come from a higher ranking family than ours. That makes their astral art stronger than ours. They're simply fulfilling their duty to society as members of the ruling elite. I know, but it still doesn't sit right with me. Ah, noblesse oblige. I see. Well, it's nice to function, like, I guess society functions that way, where it's like, yeah, you have to listen to people higher rank than you, but in return, they are supposed to protect you. Unlike that one douche who was like, old man, die for me. Yes, because I need to get home safely. See, that guy's just a dick. Okay, here we have an old dude. Old dude. Probably Volron. How loathsome. Huh? Oh, I was just reading about Volron. Can I help you?
Okay.
I was always an ardent supporter of Lord Urwagil Hildress myself. I think that was the last lord? Were it not for his son... No, never mind. Oh, right. Ganas Heros had a previous lord, but Volron killed him, just took the position. Were it not for his sudden death down on the surface, I likely still would be. In my eyes, Lord Urwagil was a true water lord. I don't believe for a second that he perished in some accident like they say. As for how Volron runs Ganas Heros, don't get me started. I hear he enslaves not only Dahnans, but even his fellow Renans. We may live in a society where the victor goes to the spoils, but his actions go against what we as a people stand for. Besides, just what sort of family line is this house Ignisari of his anyway? I never heard of it until he came along, which means they've gone amongst the lowest dregs of society. That such an ignoble lineage could suddenly produce an astral artist capable of ascending to lordship is unheard of. None of it makes any sense, not to mention all of the upheaval around here as of late. What is happening to our people? Wow, it's kind of funny.
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
Huh, that's interesting.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganath Heros changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
It was not my problem.
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how everyone's like, yeah, go Lord, yeah, my president. And meanwhile, Volron's like, yeah, fuck that prick. Okay, this person is definitely Almadria. She's the only one left.
Pardon me.
This area falls under the sole jurisdiction of House Kyneris. I must ask you to depart at once. Surely you can't claim to be ignorant of our famed house, ruled over by the esteemed Lord Almadria. If so, I urge you to listen well. In fact, I bid you listen carefully regardless. Ah, no wonder why someone that supports her is also a bitch. Have you ever noticed how, in history of Lenegis, only few women lords have emerged to compete in the crown contest? Many have theories as to why this might be, but Lord Almeida quashed the doubts of any naysayers through sheer might. In fact, not only did she usurp her father and previous family masters, but she also removed her older brother to claim the seat for herself. She's a woman who stops at nothing to get what she wants, who also gives her enemies nary the slightest opening to strike. Truly, Lord Almeida is a woman of talent. No one in all Rena better exemplifies the virtues of our nation's meritocracy. Soon the age of glorious woman sovereign reigning over Lenegis shall be upon us at last.
I guess your willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
I cannot move at the moment.
Some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Our quest is probably done, so they can't move. Yep.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Rena, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you, because we're threats to Rena.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
Hey!
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too.
Terrible people, but still people.
Balsif and the others.
Oh,
they
wow.
all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us. So I guess what I'm trying to say is...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters.
They're just bad.
Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
Renwell.
Am I wrong?
Nah, you're right.
Not at all.
Being
He
a
gets
Dahnan
me.
doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a bad one. I think that's something we've all seen.
Xion and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust, as a fellow human being above all else.
Aww. Okay, that was some easy Gald, easy SP. No fights this episode so far. Yeah, we're... Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I understand she doesn't like the patriarchy and wants women to get more representation, but it's definitely being handled in the wrong way. Oh man, being a woman doesn't excuse you from being a monster. Yeah. Well, next area, we have more people. All right, we'll keep talking. This is the area I came from, actually. Never mind. It just occurred to me, I haven't gotten a single safe spot. Or teleport spot. That's a little bit concerning. Okay, we're going to the next map, which seems to be underground. That's kind of weird. Why would you go underground? It's just another district of people. Oh, we got it in. Nice. We got like 4 NPCs to talk to. What's the point of some of these map designs? They put a hole there just for it to not do anything. It is nice to see like the people here functioning as a society, but like knowing that they're raised to just think less of other people is really distasteful. Because they probably, a lot of them, maybe even all of them, think that, well, you know, the lords are doing nothing wrong. They're just trying to protect their own people. And the Dahnans aren't even people. They're kind of like livestock, so slaughtering them is of no concern. This is crazy. How long is this gonna keep going on? I don't know. Normally we would have had orders from the top brass informing all the separate classes what they need to do. I doubt that's happening, but the whole chain of command in the city seems like it's broken down. Nobody knows what's happening. That doesn't mean that someone somewhere isn't watching our every move. For now, we should see if there's anyone higher ranking around here. Maybe they'll have an idea about what we should be doing. I'm not gonna lie, it's nice to see them functioning. That's what I said earlier, but what I meant was like them taking care of each other, and they're not just all selfish or arrogant. But the more I interact with them, the more reliance you can see the people have on the class structure. And once something happens, they always refer to the class structure, that class hierarchy, and they can't really get anything done. The feeding pen is in bad shape. Who knows how many people have died? What happened to the Zoogles? Don't tell me they broke out. No, luckily we were able to seal them off before they got too far. Not that it does much good when they've escaped into other districts too. If I had to guess, I'd say there are a lot of Zoogles running loose around throughout Lenegis. And there are a lot more of them than us too. What are we gonna do? All our best soldiers are stationed down in Dahna. It didn't even occur to me that the fighting force would be in Dahna. Of course they would. It's for the crown contest, which is super duper important. Oh god. Why would you have a structure like this? I don't know. I'm really questioning the architecture designs of this place. Yep, this looks like an open field. We're gonna get another cutscene. I'm sad that they didn't turn around to see the red woman.
Wow,
she was right there.
This place is beautiful.
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renans sure know how to live it up, don't they?
I wonder what people's occupation are.
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Because they have like farms and
Before
everything.
I went down to Dahna, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnagan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnagan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend,
Oh, okay.
as well as Faria's betrothed.
They were engaged. Got it.
Despite Faria's lower class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnagan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
Yeah.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
That's why Dohalim, that's why he's different.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Yep. Oh, at least for him, it's more about fear.
Too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagan had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagan was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait.
Yeah.
Don't tell me she doesn't know.
And she's not willing to listen to. And Dohalim feels too bad
How could
for
I tell her?
To tell
Combined
her.
with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less. she would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty. Instead, I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Dahnans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago.
True.
You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today.
I ship
So,
it.
try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Oh man, yeah, Dohalim is different. He's built different from the rest of these Renans.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
Man, they really
It's
have
important
these
to have
people
someone
paired
like
up in
that.
ships.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right.
Oh wait, what's this angle? Oh, that's the friend. Why would
Alphen,
is that
Yeah?
I
menacing
never
or not?
appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say
Oh.
thank you.
Oh, that's sweet. But yeah, the thing about Dohalim, like, he created the society in Aldemenencia because he didn't want people to have that same look that, I forgot the girl's name, but his friend had when he killed her lover. So he formed a society based off that fear. But it's also the idea of, like, not really caring too much about class, because he realizes that people are not defined by their class. He met this person who was from a lower class, who was still extremely talented in everything that he, like, enjoyed in music. So, like, he knew that, you know, people could overcome class. So it wasn't a hard choice, or at least hard adjustment for him to just kind of get rid of that barrier when he went to Dahna, which is actually really cool to see. If the rumors are to be believed, it's not just Zugals who are out of control. Apparently a group of armored soldiers have started to rebel too. Oh crap! For all we know, we may be seeing the start of some kind of uprising. Don't you think so? That's absurd! Who could possibly plot such a conspiracy and think they could get away with it? That's true. If you rebel against the Sovereign, you rebel against the entire Renan civilization. It's hard to say one way or another. Nothing like this has ever happened in the history of Lenegis. We just know too little. How big is this area? Oh, that was a lot smaller than I thought. Because there are a lot of people, I thought there was going to be a lot more dialogue. If things don't calm down soon, don't you think we should board a starship so we can evacuate? We can't. You need to have a Sovereign's permission to enter a starship for anything other than the crown contest. Well, where's the Sovereign? Why isn't he here to lead us in our time of need? Because he's dead, probably. I don't know. Oh, there's this open area for some reason. It is nice looking, but it makes you wonder if there's going to be, like, a reason for that. And the only thing we have left is this inn hotel.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Oh! There we go. Fast travel point, finally. I don't think I actually need to because I haven't had a single encounter. No, we use some CP. Oh, I didn't even notice. This guy says, "Do my eyes deceive me, or has the shop been blessed with Lord Dohalim and his servants? Is there anything I can help you with, my lord? I'll buy so. Okay, never mind. I can't really afford much. It's gonna buy heavy treat, but yeah. When we leave, he says, "Good luck, my lord. We, the citizens, are all confident that you shall do everything in your powers to bring a quick end to this crisis." And the woman says, "Goodness, I never expected to be graced by Lord Dohalim and his companions. If there's anything I can do for you all, please, by all means." Yeah, we're gonna rest, and we're gonna make that new recipe. I think it was the fancy parfait, but I don't think I can afford it. BRB, Daddy's gonna get some milk. Oh, we have new equipment. Oh, that's nice. They don't sell milk. No, I can't make it now. Some other day. Okay, let's head down again to somewhere. I don't know where, man. Oh, we're fighting now, I think.
Damn it. Lenegis soldiers.
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Oh no, we're fighting.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight. Oh,
I am Lord Dohalim of Elden Menachia. I command you.
Stop.
The rest of the city must be erased.
What?
Have they been brainwashed too?
If they want to fight, they got one.
Oh wow, that's actually kind of cool. It's like, yeah, they're giving us a reason to fight. Lord Dohalim is a lord and he's very popular, but we have to make them brainwashed so that they have a reason to fight. Okay, that was not the worst.
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
They're kind of tough.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
they weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Dahnan.
Oh, right. Those are weird.
The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
Ooh, platinum dog tag, grape gel. Ooh, lustrous astral crystal. Oh, that's gonna be pretty cool. Here we can get like a view, I guess, of this area, and an item. Oh, geez, that's gonna be scary. Uh-oh, I can skip some of these, so it's not too bad. I'll fight this one though. Well, 42 and 44.
Out of our way!
All right, that's good.
Remember to tell me if you need healing.
Dark
I
main
expect you'll be in
rending
high
Titan
demand if
fan.
that's the case.
Interesting. This place looks relatively linear. There are some open areas, but not too much. There's probably just gonna be a lot of random Zeugles. Oh boy, I could avoid this, but I'm too curious. Force Mantis.
This one will be
difficult
to predict.
In the sky, it's mine!
Being
Oh Jesus, immediately. This one looks like that Mantis thing in the beginning area of Pelaglia. The one that had like the level 42 boss. That was really hard.
Here's a healing art!
This is hard. I don't want to deal with this again.
This ends now!
I think we're gonna try to avoid them. If I can help it. Unless it gives me a boatload of EXP.
That took more energy than I
Not as
expected.
much as I was hoping for. We got Gargantibone and Mantid Claw. Neat. Definitely use like a life bottle and orange gel in that fight though. Oh god, we're not getting around that, are we? Is it oh, I did it, my boy! Alright, let's see what items we get here. Shortcake recipe. Okay. I don't damn it. Got this bigger one now.
Now you
Is it too late to talk over our differences?
You got spirit!
Oh, this guy talks. Oh god.
In an instant!
They don't talk much though. Only a little bit. Man, their moveset for these knights are really boring. They don't really ever have anything new.
Am I on a roll
Got
or
some
what?
more stuff.
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Is someone making them stand guard over the Forbidden Zone?
Oh god. Can I get around this? No I cannot. Damn it, I don't want to fight this thing.
This one will be
I just did
difficult
that.
to predict.
Alright, we took care of this one too. Man, why do they have to have these? They're really tanky.
This should make for some good
Blowing
weapon
through my
crafting
resources
material.
now. I'm gonna have to go left. Alright, let's go left and see what's here first. There's a monster there, of course there is. With a gem. Regenerative crystal. If I stay here, they can't see me. Alright. Oh, there's a lot of stuff here. Still can't see. Ah!
I won't forget.
Okay, now we can take
My
a good
exploits
look
are
at this
bearing
room.
fruit.
Oh, it's this thing, the red sage. That's why. And a regen crystal, level 4. Any chance? No.
This, I can become even stronger.
We're almost there. Oh my god. Okay. Let's just get this over with.
Gotta break through!
There's so many!
Take that! In an instant!
Oh man. I have to kill this one real quick. 1 HP Alpha is different though. Please heal me. Okay,
I can feel my power
that feels
growing.
like it's the last group of enemies. I hope so. Armor! No! That's a lot of gold though, so I'll take it. Alright, this is where the star goes. I guess it's a portal. Where are we going? I mean, if there's a star on the map, it's gonna be somewhere significant. I hope it's not a boss. There wasn't a save indication or anything.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
Oh,
But it's just a wall.
that's a lot easier
How do
than I
we get
expected.
through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was sovereigns only.
It's like someone here's a sovereign. You still got your sovereign ID? Come on, let's go. Is this a part, like the portion of Lenegis that Alphen has been to before? Whoa! Oh! Welcome to the Forbidden Area.
It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What's that? Did we open something we shouldn't have?
What the?
It's forbidden for a reason. Oh, you see his old man. Oh, this is the place that he was
Alphen.
before.
You again.
You.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
That's
What
like
am I
always.
sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Dahnan. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How
Huh.
could I say no after that?
Rena's prosperity
Still, as a
depends on
Renan,
it.
at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
She did fulfill
How
her
could
promise.
I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
The sound quality got kind of weird.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do.
Aww.
We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dahna. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
Well, it's not the same Dahna you know and love. Did everyone see that? I think everyone did.
What the hell just happened?
I don't know.
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
You all have the Monado?
That person Alphen was speaking to. She looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw
Yeah.
an episode straight out of your past?
Yeah, I want to see the next episode.
But how is that
Everyone
even possible?
dies.
Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Dahnan astral energy rushing
Oh, it
over
was
us.
Dahnan.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dahna's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegis. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
You really, like,
Yeah.
looked a lot like me.
It was all just a little sudden. That's all.
Do you still like
So
her?
that was my
or are you still
ancestor,
single?
It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past.
More
Do you think you
exposition.
can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dahna from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can.
Oh, wow.
Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on
Protect
Dahna
everyone.
or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come
Oh,
on,
she's
let's
not complaining
bust
this
thing
time.
wide open.
She's not complaining.
Nobody's here.
Stay
Ah.
sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
I think from here on out, I think we're literally going down memory lane. Which is kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. This place is really weird. And I have a decent, I just used like 2 orange gels, so I'm pretty topped up. But I think I'm gonna stop here for today. We finally landed on Lenegis, and it was not exactly what I thought it was gonna be. It's very, oh god. You can see a heal portal there. who's gonna be a boss. But yeah, Lenegis is not exactly what I thought it was gonna be. It's very, very different. People are, well, still people. They're just they grew up in a different environment. And they tried to humanize some of the villains we've had so far. I don't know if it worked, but they still tried to nonetheless. And now we're they got a lot of exposition on us. Is that I mean, it's not necessarily a good thing, but it felt like it got a bit much at one point. But yeah, we're gonna fight some boss here. But I guess I'll save that for next time. And we'll do all this other stuff going down memory lane next time. And until then, I will be seeing you. See ya!